What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out Cricket Explained for baseball fans. So I know a little bit about baseball. I don't know a whole lot about baseball. This was a great way to learn cricket. So we're going to learn about cricket. I've been checking out a lot of cricket videos lately. I've been doing a lot. Yeah, so far we check out Virat Kohli, and so far we check out to MS Dhoni, instead wicket keeping. So pretty much we're doing a lot so far and we're learning a lot. You guys hang out with me and stay with me, but check out the other videos, man. I really appreciate it. So let's get straight into this one.
Cricket Explained if you already know baseball.
All right. To get this started, I want you to imagine a game much like baseball, except there are only two bases, and they're basically where home plate is and where the pitcher's mound is. To score a run in this game, you simply have to reach the next base. So if you put the ball in play and you make it to the pitcher's mound, that's a run. And then if you're able to make it back to home plate, then you score 2 runs on that play. This game is played in the middle of an oval, so there's no foul area. You can hit the ball behind you, you can hit it to the side or whatever. And in this game, the pitchers are allowed to bounce the ball. If you can picture this game in your mind, you are 75% of the way to understanding cricket. The rest of it is details.
Okay.
Before we get started, I just want to say that I'm going to be explaining this like I would to a friend of mine who knows baseball and wants to know about cricket.
There you go.
I'm going to be switching between baseball and cricket terminology a little bit more freely than maybe somebody who's a hardcore cricket fan might be comfortable with. Feel free to
I'm down for this.
Comments.
I am so down for this.
What would be more fun is if you made a companion video that explains baseball in reverse. All right.
That would be an interesting one.
So cricket is a game played between 2 teams of 11 players. When a team is fielding, all 11 of its players are on the field at the same time. 9 players are out in the field at the various positions. And then there's one bowler, who is basically the pitcher. And one wicketkeeper, who is basically the catcher. And then the team that is batting has 2 players at bat at any given time. These batters stand at opposite ends of the pitch, which is a narrow rectangle that's in the middle of the oval that is the cricket field. At the ends of the pitch are 2 wickets, which are these little structures that have 3 stumps and 2 bales. The stumps are the 3 pieces of wood that are in the ground, and the bales are these 2 little pieces of wood that rest on top of the stumps. A play begins when the bowler, which is basically the pitcher, bowls the ball to the batter. The bowler is ultimately trying to break the wicket, which would get the batter out. More on that later. The batter is trying to protect the wicket and put the ball in play. If the ball is put in play and the batter and the teammate are able to switch places, so basically assume the other one's position, the team has scored a run. And if they can do that again, then they score 2. And if they do that again, they score 3, etc. There are no strikes in cricket. The batter can just choose not to swing if they don't want to. And there's no penalty for hitting a batter with a legally thrown ball. Batters are expected to protect the wicket and not let themselves get hit. In fact, as we'll see in a little bit, there are actually situations where a batter can be called out if they allow themselves to be hit with the ball. There is the equivalent of a ball in cricket. It's called a wide. And if the umpire has determined that the bowler has bowled the ball wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting team. There's also something in cricket called a no ball, which is
if they step over the line,
determined that the ball has been delivered illegally. And there's a couple dozen different reasons why an umpire might call a no ball. If the umpire calls a no ball, just like a wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting team.
Is any stepped over the line?
The batters stay on the field until they are out. So they continue to bat and score runs until they are put out.
That's probably why Virat Kohli is scoring 50 runs.
1 single swing of the bat, or they can stay at bat, I guess forever. But it's common for a batter to score between like 20 and 50 runs in an at-bat, and it's not unheard of for a batter to hit 100. This is called a century, and it's very fun.
The boundary.
Along the perimeter of the cricket field is
the boundary.
This can be a rope or a little cushion type thing, or it can be a short fence or a wall. When a ball is in play and it reaches or goes past the boundary, that is called a boundary. A ball that rolls and hits or passes the boundary or bounces over the boundary like a ground rule double is worth 4 runs for the batting team. A ball that is hit over the boundary, so basically like a home run, is worth 6 runs for the batting team.
Okay.
Outs.
There are several ways that a batter or runner can get put out in cricket, and they boil down to 2 basic categories. A batter can be caught out, which is just like baseball. They hit a ball in the air and a fielder catches it. Or they can be out if the fielding team knocks the bails off the stumps of the wicket when you are in a position where that could put you out.
Oh.
2 different ways this could happen. You could be
That was a good play.
This is where you are trying to score a run, but they knock the ball into the wicket.
Oh, okay.
You reach the crease
Quiz.
that defines the place where
I
you...
learned about that.
By the way, the bat is part of your body.
Okay.
Determining whether or not you are safe. You can be bowled out, and these are very exciting. This is where the bowler sends the ball to you, and the ball bounces past you and knocks the bails off the stumps. A batter can also be put out by the wicketkeeper. If the batter moves past this line here, called the popping crease, the keeper gains possession of the ball and knocks the bails off the stumps. This is called being stumped out. A batter can also be called out if they allow the ball to hit them, and the umpire determines that the ball would have knocked the bails off the stumps if the batter had not interfered with their body. This is leg before wicket. So those are the most common ways that you will see a batter or runner get put out by the fielding team. There
Okay.
are several other
That's very interesting.
ways for a batter to get out, and we will not be getting into them here. One major difference between baseball and cricket is in cricket, if the fielding team thinks they have gotten a batter or runner out, they first have to appeal to the umpire who will confirm whether or not the batter or runner is out. So
Okay.
if the batter or runner would be out, but no one on the fielding team notices it, then play just continues, and the umpire will not just call them out. When a player is put out, the bowling and fielding team is said to have taken the wicket, and the batting and running team is said to have lost the wicket.
Okay.
Overs.
Each
That makes sense.
series of 6 pitches or deliveries, which are called balls, is called an over. Each over has only 1 bowler, and each bowler only bowls 1 over at a time. So after a bowler has delivered 6 balls, they take a position in the field, and another player comes in to be the bowler.
Oh.
Over. A bowler
So they just keep going around.
come back to bowl again, but a bowler may not bowl 2 consecutive overs. If you're
Interesting.
comparing this all to baseball, overs are similar to individual
Innings?
bats in terms
Okay.
of the
Individuals are
game,
bad.
where
Okay.
It's like one series of deliveries that everyone's watching, and then there's a brief pause while a new player comes on, and then there's a next set of deliveries that everyone's watching.
So it's changing
Of
pitchers.
course, is that it's the bowlers, the pitchers that are coming in and out, and not the batters.
Okay.
Formats.
Beyond everything that has been explained so far, the majority of the details of the game that you watch will depend on the format of cricket that you're watching. There are 2 basic formats of the game of cricket. There's
Okay.
first class cricket and there's limited overs cricket. First class cricket is what a lot of people think of when they think of cricket. We're talking about the games that go on for several days.
Yes. That's the one.
Maybe the Queen shows up. And first class cricket is most associated with the 5-day-long test matches that international teams play against one another. They're scheduled for 5 days, but they might be completed before that. At
Okay.
the beginning of the first day, there is a coin toss to determine which team goes first. And then the sides alternate going through their entire batting order. This happens twice. So each team goes through its batting order twice for a total of 4 innings. Unless the team that goes second scores more runs than the team that went first, in which case they don't have to actually finish their entire innings. They just win the game. That was very simplified. The rules governing test matches could be their own 15-minute video. The other format of cricket is limited overs cricket, where each team is limited to a certain number of overs, and each innings comes to an end when the specified number of overs has been reached, or when all of the batters are out, whichever comes first. There are several types of limited overs cricket, but there are two that you are most likely to see. The first of these are the one-day internationals, or ODI. These are played
2 innings
national teams, and each team
50.
has 50 overs.
Is this what the World Cup gonna be?
Cricket, which is 2020 cricket, where both teams get.
Is this the format the World Cup?
Invented to be more exciting and more fast-paced, and to put the length of an individual match around the same as other common sporting events around the world. An easy way to know whether you're watching a test match or a limited overs match is whether the teams are wearing white or colors. And if you are watching, you're almost definitely watching
a limit
20 match.
Oh, that's the World Cup. I know that one.
Pay attention, because this is maybe the most confusing part of all of this, the scorekeeping. So at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it says India, and then it says 118 for 5. This does not mean that the score is 118 runs to 5 runs. No, this means that India has scored 118 runs for 5 wickets.
For 5 wickets.
5 of their batters have been put out. Then it says first innings. So this is the first innings of this match. Then it says England 287. So that's how many runs England scored in their innings. And since this is a test match, both teams will play 2 innings. Then you've got information about the 2 batsmen that are currently up and how many runs they've scored so far. It says Broad 0 for 24. This means that Broad, the bowler, has taken 0 wickets so far.
Okay.
Has allowed
24 runs. Okay. I'm getting this.
It's 3 p.m.
I'm getting that.
For a limited overs match, there's a little bit more information that you need to know. So here you go. Down at the bottom, it says England. This is another game between England and India. It's a women's game. So it says England 103 for 4. So that means that they've scored 103 runs for 4 wickets.
4 wickets.
Don't worry about what that means yet. Then it says 24.3 of 50. That means that we are 24 overs and 3 deliveries into this innings.
Okay.
And the 50 means that this innings will have at most 50 overs, right? Because this is a one-day international. Then it says target 222. This means that India went first and scored 222 runs. So that's how many runs England has to score to win. And it's pretty much the same as the test match we just saw. Just be careful, because if you're watching an Australian broadcast, the scores are reversed. The wickets are first and the runs are second. So on this one, it says Ren, that's the Renegades, that's one of the teams, 5 for 135. So it's 5 wickets for 135
runs.
So just be careful.
Okay.
It might be confusing.
All right. Aussie are different.
Similarities and differences.
Some Aussie.
That's basically it. I thought that we would end this video with a few more similarities and differences between baseball and cricket. One major difference is that in cricket, if a ball is in play, the runners are not compelled to move, right? You only run if you think you can make a run. One similarity is that every cricket ground has different dimensions and a different shape. And much like in baseball, this means that certain cricket grounds are more favorable or less favorable to different
the home team.
Another difference is that in cricket, the positions refer to places on the field and not necessarily the individual fielders. So if baseball had a similar thing, like you would not be the shortstop for your team.
Okay.
You would just be a fielder who would be playing shortstop position. And then if your team was in a shift or whatever, maybe you would be said that you were in the second base position. Or maybe for one batter, you would be in the shallow mid outfield position, right? Another similarity is that in cricket, players' on-field and off-the-field behavior is governed by an old-fashioned sense of propriety that's not unlike the unwritten rules in baseball. And the final difference that's probably become clear to you as you watch this video is that cricket is a much more international game than baseball. I don't mean to say that it is more popular in more countries than baseball, although this might also be true. What I mean by this is that international competitions, so competitions between national teams, are the norm. They're not like a special thing that everyone tunes into every 4 years.
Okay.
Cricket is a relatively new phenomenon in the world. And while leagues are becoming much more popular these days, it wasn't very long ago that professional cricket was looked upon as diluting the purity of the game.
Oh, wow.
Baseball fan, you have just become a cricket master. And you
Okay, it's good to know.
any cricket game that comes across your television. If you are a cricket fan and you notice that I got something wrong, which I probably have, or that I left something out, which I probably did, feel free to let me know in the comments. Although, like I said before, it might be more fun for you to just make your own companion video. I would love to.
Yeah, so like honestly, I think this is pretty cool. I didn't think about it like that, and that's a good information and really informative thing because like I really enjoyed that a lot. So that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe, greatly appreciate it. All right, peace out.